Something's wrong with our world today. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with our color spectrum. I guess it's time to be living on the edge. Welcome to today's episode of Treasure Corals, and today we are going to talk about the newly announced and released product by AI called Edge. There's so many associations I have with that world. There's a great movie, Edge. There is a famous guitar player in one of the bands. But again, that's not what we're talking about today. Those of you who have been following my channel for many, many years know that I have been primarily lighting my aquariums with Ecotech and AI products. I started using Ecotech Radions, I think starting version 2. And if you go back in the videos, you can actually see that. And since then, I was really excited when the Hydra came out, and always my flagship display aquarium would be lit by AI. So I was a big fan of Hydras. If you open up your Mobius app or search for Signature Series, you will actually find my original lighting schedule, and to this day I get lots of inquiries about my lighting schedule, and I have tweaked it a little bit when Blades came out. But what always excited me about the Hydra product in the first place was the color spectrum. Again, those of you who know my tastes, I'm not a huge fan of purple color. I like my tanks to be a little bit more Windexy looking. I like that blue color, same as what you would see in the original LEDs that just came to market. And Hydras, for me, were the first light that gave me that metal halide look. So I absolutely love that. Now, this is not my only aquarium. I also have a coral farm, and that coral farm is lit primarily by radiance. And I've set it up this way so that I can observe the same coral under the different lighting and see, and I'm always able to compare it. And throughout all these videos, I've had sometimes plum tank together. I've tried to combine things. So I like to experiment, and I like to have a real world experience with the light. So when Edge came out, well, it comes out today, but I had I think it's the first run production or maybe pre-production model. I've been using this light for about a month, and I think I can talk intelligently about it. So let's dive right in. Let's start by talking a little bit about the specs. I usually don't cover the specs too much in my videos. I think that my viewers are savvy enough to look it up, and there's many other videos that do a lot more testing and a lot more readings and spectrum and talk about the diodes, but really it's very straightforward. I always get flack for not mentioning the price of the units. Now keep in mind, I'm not getting paid for any of this, but I did get the production unit for free, but I always try to speak of my own personal experience with this, and at the end my recommendation will be not influenced by that. So I just like to experiment with new products that come out. So there's tons of different lights. Oh, I do want to mention that there's two models. There's a smaller and a bigger one. So these are the grown-up cousins of the I guess Hydra 32 and 64 HDs. They're very similar. You can see there is a light in the middle. The longer one, which I haven't had access to, it's just a little bit longer, more powerful, but it's the same idea. The color spectrum is quite similar. There is, for example, on this light, there's 10 blue, 6 royal blue, 8 violet, 10 cool white, and 2 warm white. But there's a few caveats here. and this costs $3.99 US, and the bigger version I believe is $6.99 US, if I'm not mistaken. So once again, this is the next iteration of Hydra, in my opinion, and I've always liked, it's my personal preference, I liked the look of Hydra over my display aquariums. Just that combination of shimmer, the color spectrum, lots of my lovely blue LED and a little bit less royal blue. I think my corals love royal blue, but aesthetically I do not want my tank to be as purple. And here I have that flexibility even more. Now, a little sideway note, the tank behind me is lit by blades, and I have the grow and glow combination here, and I utilize all of the channels, and I do like the deeper channels as well. But several of my aquariums before were only lit by hydras, and you again can see the results. They speak for themselves. Now, the interesting thing about this light is that instead of having lights, LEDs interspersed throughout the tank, throughout the light, they are actually in small clusters, and then the white and warm white, the cool white and warm white are right smack in the middle. And this with some crazy optics. Again, if you go to the website, you'll see all this words about the optics and the evenness of par. All of that is quite advanced. But having everything centered in the middle, I believe allows for a much nicer and more natural shimmer effect. And the shimmer effect looks pretty good in my opinion. Now, again, don't take my word for it. We're actually gonna look in this in action. And speaking of that, when I received that light, I didn't know what to do with it first, because as I mentioned, my farm is quite large and it's all uniform lit, so it's very hard to just do justice to a testing of a light. And same with this one. There's lots of light over this tank. If I'm going to put just something off to the side and I only have one light, there's nothing I can do with that. So I thought about it, and I decided to do something that nobody else that I know have done, at least recently, and I think it's pretty cool. Again, the tank behind me, I do run Trident NP, and I measure my nitrates and phosphates regularly, and you can look in the link below my measurements. Because I use Aquatic Log that connects to Trident NP and takes the measurements. But if I launch my Aquatic Log app and go to my aquarium, you can actually see and you can see all of them in the link below. You can see all of my parameters since the day I've started this tank, about a year ago. And my phosphates have been very, very high. So the way I've been running my system for all these years, something about my husbandry, my phosphates have always creeped up, and my nitrates are always very low, so I have to dose nitrates, just the way I guess do things. And I needed to bring down phosphates, and having done many different things in the past, including lanthanum chloride, I didn't want to do any of that. I don't use any GFO either. So I thought about it, and then I had this, and I figured I think I want to do a refugium. But I don't want to do a regular type of refugium, because those things, apparently they increase DOC, and DOC is not good for you, dissolved organic compounds, I think that's what it's called. So it's a problem, and I decided I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone, although I feel bad for the birds. I will do a different type of refugium. I will do a refugium that will be all coral, but not just any coral. It's going to be torch coral. And the reason is lately I've been on my torch kick. So like I've been fascinated by torches. You can see a whole torch garden over here. It took me many, many years to figure out how to keep torch. And I think also, you know, getting it from a reputable source, all of that good stuff. So I decided, I farmed some torches, and I've got this light. So it's a match made in heaven. I took my water box sump area, I extended it a little bit, so there's a way to extend it and make it a little bit larger. I brought out a net crate. I have the AI orbit for flow, which you will see in a second. And I then just took the mount. I think it's my regular Hydra mount. I'll have to confirm. And what I did, I just plugged it in and set it up and measured the par. That's all I did. I already know my lighting schedule. I tweaked it maybe a little bit, but primarily I use the same lighting schedule everywhere, and I have confidence in it. And then I took the par meter, and once this thing was running at 150%, I was getting about 250 par. In some places, maybe even a little bit more, but it's quite uniform. And it was, yeah, I think maybe closer to 300. And I was very happy. So I've set it up, put the torches in there. I've been adding a little bit more torches over the last few weeks. And at the end, I have a system that works very well. But enough of me talking. Let's actually take it for a spin. I want to show you the sump area, and then we will see what this baby is in action like. This is not going to be an eye candy video. For those ones, you can watch my previous videos that I've done of this aquarium. This is just a sneak peek on what the tank looks like right now, and there's going to be a more formal video of some of the changes upcoming soon. But let's take a look at the sump. So let's open it up, and here we go. It's been a while since I actually showed you my sump area in the first place, and I guess I'm gonna quickly show you what's happening here. This is my Trident NP and the regular Trident. There's a reason why I've opened them up, but I'll talk about this in another video. There will be a video about all the maintenance of the aquarium, but right now we are focusing on edge. And you can see I even experimented with the other light, the blade over here, but that's a completely different level over here, and I'm not going back for this aquarium for many, many reasons. I do like edge a lot. I like this uniformity. I like the fact that I can kind of have access through the top, and just in general I like to geek out on some new equipment. So this is my orbit. It's been running in random mode, and hey buddy, how's it going? What is going on here? Yeah, this is I'm like March with his dog. So you know what, I also have my dog. I gotta have a catchy name and make some funny jokes about this fella over here. Hey buddy, how's it going? All right, you also want to sleep under the tank, eh? Okay. we have edge, and I have the orbit. And for those of you who are torch experts, help me figure out the best way to have the flow for the tank. Right now I have it underneath. It flows all the way, and then it kind of comes back in a nice pattern, and this gives me a pretty cool effect, but I think I can do better. And it's random, I think 20 to 50% ramp up and down. Now, the torches themselves, they're a little bit closed off just because I've recently turned on the light. I have this aquarium running on a reverse cycle, so this helps me with my pH. And there's a lot of torches here, so that means that when I guess have the light on, it really helps me lower the phosphates because it brings down the phosphate over time and it climbs with the pH. The corals look really, really good. I haven't had any issues with any of the torches. And if we will look at the app, so let's fire it up. I'm using a Mobius right over here, and this is my live demo. So let's turn it off, and then I will go to play. Come on, it's a little bit hard to do with one hand, but I can do it. Here is the, I guess, the slider. Now, for anybody who's been doing reefing for a while and used the products, it's very self-explanatory. There is a slider. We can change the intensity, or we can also change individual lights, and you can have a Kelvin slider. So I like the 1750 look right over here. So if you want to see it under 20K look, that's what it looks like. It looks a little bit bluer to my eyes. I'm using an orange filter, but you've got some great color spectrum over here, and you can always warm it up and have a more natural look. And I think this is another place where the that optics really shines. You can see that shimmer that looks pretty cool in my opinion. Now let's change it up a little bit, and this is what it's going to look like with just the white light on. It's going to look obviously very yellow. Now this is because I am using the color filter. So if I remove that, that's a little bit more on what I'm seeing. This is me adding the royal blue. This is me adding the blue channel. And then you can't really quite pick up the UV over here, but this this video that you see right now is actually very similar to what my eyes see. And I am, roughly maxing out 100% on all of the channels. Now, once again, the corals, absolutely love it. I have been using this for over a month now and have had great results. I don't have anything to clean the rack over here, so remember I do have some higher phosphate, so there's a little bit of a algae situation, but it's not a big deal, and I have no algae in the tank upstairs. I like the fact that you can angle this light as well. This is very useful, and I can think of quite a few ways that you can add a little bit more dramatic effect, or you can light up more shaded parts of your aquarium. So this is really cool. Kudos to their team for doing this. And the par is very, very high. I have been seeing at least 250 to 300 par, and it's very uniform as well. So there's maybe 16 inches. No, I'd say it's closer to 18 inches to the water, and I would say that the par is very uniform. So overall, pretty cool. That sums up my real-life review of Edge by AquaIllumination. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you're gonna be getting this light, what you're gonna be using them for. I personally think that this is a phenomenal light for anybody who's either used Hydra before, or you know somebody who's got a Hydra tank and you want that same look. I think you're gonna get this, but this is just gonna be next level on shimmer, on efficiency, on the color spectrum. Like, everything is just gonna be way, 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 way better. And it's super quiet as well, which Hydras have always been very quiet for me. So that would be one option. Another option is you can always use it as a supplementation. You can also have it in a combination with the blades. It's phenomenal. I have many ideas on how I want to be using something like this in the future, but I will leave this for upcoming videos. I've got at least 2 different ideas on how I can use this in a pretty unique way. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.